Action is the cure for anxiety. I'm currently experiencing a lot of anxiousness. There are many things that happens in my life which is very stressful and it's hard for me to bear. So I just sat in my bed. I was thinking about these things, contemplating, regurgitating the same thought again and again. I just stopped for a second. I said, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" I started feeling more and more anxious as I was sitting down and doing nothing. It was very, very hard to even come up with a solution. Some of the things are out of my control. And I said to myself, okay, I got to get up, record a video, or write a chapter in my book, do something that is productive, do my burpees, do something that is just takes me away from these intrusive thoughts an endless loop because I couldn't find a way out. So let me tell you what I've done. I've done 100 burpees. I wrote a chapter in my book. Now I'm recording this video. I feel refreshed. I feel so much better. The anxiety just went away. And get this, you guys. Anxiety is a notification for self-preservation, meaning you got to take action when you feel it because this feeling will not go away just because. It's a notification to act, to do something. It tells you, signals you that there is something you can do, but you don't do it. Sometimes people think that just by sitting and thinking and contemplating, meditating on the problem, it will solve it. The truth is that the action will solve it. Yes, you do need to contemplate and think a little bit. Don't just be rush and take actions without even thinking about it. Yes, be logical, use your common sense here. But eventually, the thought needs to be translated into action. If it don't, this is where the anxiety just tears you apart. You feel so bad and you ask yourself, oh my God, what is happening here? And you can't shake it off. What I did and what I'm recommending for you to do is to take physical action, do some kind of physical activity that elevates you, that helps you to get out of your body and just get out of your body and just move. Control your body, control it, and you can move all the time. I mean, it's not like you're bound to the bed and, oh, I can't move. You can. This is where you need to exercise a little bit of willpower to move, release this more dopamine just by physical activity, and you will be just fine. And let me tell you also why most people, when they're having a problem, they just sit and think about it, regurgitating the same thought again and again and again. Because when we were kids, we we misbehave, or we had some kind of issue, or we created an issue, did a made a problem or some sort. What happened then? This is where our parents or maybe our teacher told us, go to your room. This is in case parents, go to your room and think about what you did. Even in kindergarten, I remember, go to the corner and think about what you did. So as little kids, we're programmed that when you have a problem created or just something happened, we need to go and think about what happened. How fucked up is that? And you go, you think about what happened. Nothing good comes out of it. This is a disciplinary action that caregivers, teachers, sometimes parents just give a kid because they want the kid to think about it and never doing it again. That will not solve it. Also, write down, I will not do it 1,000 times. It's not going to help. This is not a solution. This is a disciplinary punishment. It's very detrimental for the development of the human mind because this is how a kid learns that when there is a problem, you sit, you think, and you don't grow. You don't grow. You just beat yourself up, and beating yourself up, this is not a good thing. This is also increased anxiety. This is why I wanted to tell you in this video, if you feel anxious, if you feel discomfort, this is your body communicating with you. It's your body communicate with the soul, communicate with the mind, and tells you to move, tells you to change something, tells you you can do something, do it. And if you don't listen to this feeling, to this voice, it will ensue. It will be so hard. You will crawl throughout the day. And The worst thing about all of this, when you feel anxiety, when you feel stress and you don't take action, what happens? You're starting to accumulate karmic debt, because this is God speaking to you to move. How would you like God to speak to you any other way? Through your dog? Through what? Through feelings. This is the line of communication. Makes you feel anxious. Something needs to change. And if you don't listen to God, to the voice within you, karmic debt has been issued on your name. And you know, karmic debt, when you're having karmic debt, the consequences of karmic debt that is being collected daily is lack of clarity. And I will make a video about karmic debt. I will go more deep into it. This is why whenever I feel the calling, I feel this stress and anxiety, this unease, I act immediately. And when you act, it alleviates. It alleviates in a minute or 2 or 3 or 4, but for sure it will go away, and it will never go away just by sitting there and thinking about it. So with that said, you guys, I hope this video helped you and you understand more about this emotion that we call anxiety, that it's actually just a mechanism that tells you to move. And I want to emphasize one more thing before I wrap up, because I think it's very important for you guys to know that every time you feel this, you can actually get yourself into a motivated state or depressed state. You can increase anxiety or decrease and eliminate actually the anxiety by self-motivation or self-depression. I say self-motivation and self-depression because you bring it upon yourself. Motivation is simply action with positive self-talk. That's it. Depression is inaction and negative self-talk. Anxiety is basically projecting on the future and seeing the worst case scenario based on the past. You are depressed about the past. You look at your past and say the past was shit, and then you are trying to future project. And when you future project, you project on the future based on the past, and you get anxious because you say, oh my God, it was bad, it will be bad, and you cannot motivate yourself. And what happens as a result of inability to motivate yourself, the default mode is getting into depression, which is inaction and shit talk about yourself. So make sure that you don't do that. Make sure that you don't do it. Pick yourself up, drop to the floor, do something to change your state, and you'll be just fine, my friend. I love you, and I will see you again in the next one.